David was acting.
Welcome back, everybody. Well, looks like some people left. Okay, so you've had some time to look at that case study, look at some hotels. What group wants to go first to talk about their case study and their SWOT analysis, what they came up with? Somebody go first, please. No one do the SWOT analysis?
This is Bhavya from Group 6.
Hi.
Hi. So I don't know, like you put us into breakout groups and like, I don't know, like everyone just left. And
okay.
It was just me, Navid and David.
Did you do one?
So we spoke about Raffles Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
And like how they had built the hotel, and like we discussed about the SWOT analysis,
Mm-hmm.
like what were the threats for them, what were the weaknesses and stuff. Like we discussed about like how we were checking out their website and we saw the pricing and stuff, and like their weakness would be their price, and like they are like they have built their whole hotel like in a historic way,
Okay.
which is basically like the wear and tear of the furniture and everything would be like costly, because like to maintain such rooms would be a weakness for them. That's what we discussed. And then
what hotel is it?
Raffles Singapore.
Okay.
And then I have Navid will talk about the rest. I think he's on too.
Hi, Navid.
So one of the strengths we saw was the unique aspect, how different they are from any other hotel, how they're close to the bay, they're close to the main city, so that attracts a lot of people. And at the same time, with the price point being higher, it's because of the luxurious area they offer and the service. At the same time, there are a lot of clientele who would prefer paying the premium for the privacy that they will receive at the same time.
Okay.
The threat was, as Bhavya mentioned, how they turned an old building into a hotel. So it's going to be very costly to get. There's a lot of the carvings done around the building. It looks like it's handmade carvings, and that's a labor skill that's kind of getting. It's getting out of dated. There isn't a lot of people interested in it, so it's going to be hard to upkeep the hotel unless they change it around in the future.
Okay. Very good. Is that it?
That was, most of the things that we spoke about.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much for that. Any other groups do a SWOT analysis? All right. Interesting. So, part of the SWOT analysis, just so you know, it's really important to do for an organization. And what we try to do in any organization is we use the SWOT analysis to help inform the organization, okay? So typically, high-performing organizations look at areas related to their stakeholders. They have strong stakeholder groups, processes that are in place and those are usually strengths internally. Any resources, financial resources that they recognize. And then organizational, they've got a really good sense of how the organization is aligned in terms of their structure. That's also an important part of any business strategy. So companies look at diversification based on three main areas. One is concentric diversification, horizontal, and the last one is conglomerate, okay? So if you look at diversification in terms of growth, it's important to understand that concentric diversification is where you seek new products that have technological or marketing synergies with existing product lines, just like we have with Apple. Okay, so that's a good example of concentric diversification. Horizontal diversification is really you're searching for new products that could appeal to its current customers. And then the last one is conglomerate, where you have, you're seeking new business relationships for the company based on your current technologies, products, and markets. So you're trying to potentially buy new companies to add on to your growth based on a new relationship and some synergies with their product offerings. So this is kind of a diversification, and you should know the differences between the three types. So integrated growth is where opportunities exist in the market with new product develops and can be seized through integrating backward and forward within the business industry. Backward and forward, and then providing some type of way to look at their whole business, even horizontally or integratedly, in a way potentially to downsize. Okay, so that's integrated growth. You can look at different ways to downsize to be more profitable as an organization. This is really important to know because a company can grow. You don't have to grow in sales, they can grow in profit and actually shrink and become a more profitable company. You'll see that a lot when companies downsize, they lay people off, and they become more profitable. All of a sudden their stock go up. That's a really important component of any marketing. Okay, we got a question. Stop sharing. Huh. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's your Wi-Fi, Nash. I'm not sure why it wouldn't be working. I'll reshare the screen again. So those are the different, you want to think about different value propositions or driven marketing strategies. So a lot of times companies will segment their customers based on different types of customers, their needs in terms of their product offerings. They want to look at, the opportunities related to a different segmenting, and then therefore market to those segments differently. There's also strategies which are market targeting. Well, it involves each market segment and attracting one or more segments to each other. So you want to try and get them to work together. And then we talked about differentiation earlier. And the last one is market positioning, which is really about positioning your products in a way based on value and service so that you are seen differently and you can differentiate yourself in the marketplace. So in my business, I also have a strategy process. I start with an understanding. So I do a brand audit, usually for an organization, a competitive needs analysis. I do a workshop. That workshop has a whole bunch of planning tools that I use, charts on the wall, basically a huge chart, it's 6 feet long. And we fill out these charts and come up with hypotheses, as well as we look at all the research that we might have had. And we write up a report after that first meeting based on the research and the offsite and everything that we're going to have related to that this situation. We'll also look at their competition. We'll look at the current state of their strategic plan and also any research they may have already done to determine if we need to do more research for that company. In addition, therefore, we start to develop the brand plan as well as marketing plan and all the elements related to that in terms of the budget and the marketing calendar of activities we're going to do. After that, we implement the plan or activate it by buying media, doing creative development, picking the integrated marketing channels we're going to use, changing of the website, whatever, everything has to look and feel the same. Okay? So the social media plan, creative has to look the same as the creative on the website. And in addition, we'll put together metrics at the end so we measure what we're doing together here. So that's it for today. You guys have a test next week. I just want to make sure we got this in. That's why I delayed the test. And that test will happen in class. The test, you must have a camera on your screen because we're doing proctoring. So it's not an open book test. And I'll give you instructions when you sign on next week for the test. It starts at 11:40, the start of our actual class. One second, I gotta find my. This is not an open book test next week. No, it's a test, which is a real test, online test with multiple choice, true and false. Part of your doing your quiz the week before was to get sort of ready for this. Now you got to get kind of caught up to all the first 5 areas. There's no short answers. True and false, multiple choice, and matching. Okay. It's going to be everything that we've talked about right up to this point today. Okay. So you have to show up. You have to have a camera. It has to be on. We'll be doing the proctoring so that we know that you're not looking at your book or your websites or whatever. And then that's how we go from there. Module 5 will be included. And yes, got to start studying again. So you get good marks on this test. Are there any other questions, guys, for today? Also, in the, I'll share my screen again, 1 second. In my screen, I'm going to share my screen to show you also have to do Module 5 in the module section today. So that section is right here. One second. Yeah, so this section here, when you go into course modules each week, you need to go down, make sure you get Module 5 done. This is not correct. Okay, so you have to get Module 5 done. Targeting and positioning, you just have to do this module. All right, guys, thank you for today. Are there any other questions? Let's see here, there's chat area. Okay, thanks everybody. You have a great holiday. Yes, modules 1 to 5, that's correct. You guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.